Do you subscribe to the view? Naran Murthy said that youngsters should work 70 hours in a week.
I had one employee long time ago who walked to me and said, I'll work from Monday through Friday up until 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
The new trend, as we all know, is AI agents trend.
The current AI is basically built by humans. Super AI builds itself. So you don't really require humans at that particular point of time. And 80% of the software work can be done using AI.
Looking at the current crop of youngsters that we have, how do you see them as the future leaders?
Customer focus is highly important.
Welcome to Marketer's Fireside Chat, where we uncover the real stories behind business innovation. In today's podcast, we have Mr. Murali Reddy, who has been in the thick of things when it comes to building teams and growing organization from 5 people to hundreds right now. And he has been through various disruptions and helped his team grow. You will love his anecdotes, I'm very sure. And he is someone who is looked up to when it comes to understanding the business nuances. Welcome, Mr. Murali Reddy. We are extremely glad to have you here.
Thank you, Subhash. Thank you. That's a great introduction, though I don't know if I would qualify for that. But anyway, I'll give you a brief introduction about Tecnics. Tecnics started about in the year 1998 as primarily as a SAP services provider to clients in the United States. We used to work providing SAP integration services and SAP support services to large companies. And then from there, we branched out into other areas such as e-commerce, cybersecurity, and opened offices globally. When the US had, the 9/11 attacks, that's when actually that forced us to go to India or come to India for that matter and open an office here, primarily to provide more value to the clients, because after the 9/11 event, a lot of the clients were looking for cost cutting, optimization, and offshoring the capabilities. That's how we just got started. An opportunity came, and because of that, came to India, started the operations here, started providing services to the US clients, and over a period of time branched out into many different areas: OpenStack, cybersecurity, and other areas as well, and started opening branches in other parts of the world. So we currently have offices in United States, which is our corporate office, Dubai, where is a field office that we have, Canada, and of course in Hyderabad. Hyderabad, we have a development center. So we have practices in SAP, Microsoft, Oracle, and cybersecurity. So we provide services to clients both in India, Middle East, US, depending upon wherever the demand is, wherever the projects are. One thing that kind of differentiates our company from other companies is that Technics has always been a solution provider. We are not into staff augmentation. Very little we do staff augmentation, maybe 2%, 3%. We are more into the solutions. We provide solutions to the clients. That's why majority of our customers, once they become our customer because of the cost reasons or for this particular skill set, they remain our customers. So we have been working with a client for the last 25 years for an SAP client. So that's how we kind of bring the attitude to the work attitude and provide value to the customers.
Right. But you made a very interesting point, Mr. Reddy, when you said that out of every crisis comes opportunity, right? And now we are heading towards another crisis, or maybe want to call it a disruption, because AI is really disrupting the business world. in a big way, which is quite unprecedented. And the only reference that we can take is when internet really rocked all the businesses maybe about 15 years ago. Do you think that this is going to be a huge game changer for every business? And how is, as CEO of Technics, you are really taking this as a as an opportunity for you to leapfrog into the next level?
Just to give a brief little bit more on that, during the COVID-19, just about every company sent all their employees to the home to work. Now, in US, what does that mean? So people are working in at different home offices. So basically, a lot of those companies again felt that they can offshore all their work. Why to do it in a high cost center? Why cannot they do it in a low cost center? So these kind of opportunities come up, and again, AI is proving to be a huge opportunity and a disruption as well. Opportunity is because the productivity gains that come out of AI are simply humongous. AI is giving opportunity for businesses to optimize their processes, to shorten the delivery times in case of a manufacturing customer or a healthcare providers. So in every area there is some sort of optimization that is becoming possible, and customers are expecting those optimizations to be provided. It's no longer a cookie cutter solution. I'll come and implement some off the shelf solution for you. The customers are requesting that they want to have the latest stack, because everyone has a smartphone. Everyone can see what AI can do, what they are capable of doing with AI. So in all these scenarios, customers are requesting a change, and we are essentially working towards providing cutting edge solution to clients that includes AI, and how we as a company optimize those very processes that they have been doing for a decade or more with a new process. I mean, a simple example, recently when I went to visit a banking customer, they wanted to see how we can speed up the loan approval process, right? And they wanted to use AI for that purpose. And how do they want to optimize do that? A simple way is AI can review the loan application, review their entire balance sheets for a period of last 5 years, and identify the inconsistencies or how the customer financial profile is based on their balance sheet, based on their bank statements, and then come out with a recommendation as what a loan approver would do. So a task that would have taken 2 weeks, 3 weeks, now the bank is able to do it within a matter of 10 minutes. That's a requirement for the bank. That's what they want to do. So that's how AI is kind of disrupting, but also it is a bit of a pressure on consulting companies such as us, because customers want to see AI in about everything that they want, they are implementing. So that is forcing us to come out with innovative solutions, changing the methodologies that we are doing. So that's about the how we are trying to come up with new and more solutions to the client.
Okay. And I think the point that you mentioned is innovation, right? How critical is innovation when there is, the disruption happening? Because most people are so much into how to save themselves rather than really thinking about what new ways that we can address, for the customer. How do you think that one needs to really think through this disruption? But innovation plays a key role there, right? As you had rightly mentioned. How should, as a leader, uh, you would put emphasis on amongst your first rank, executives? How important it is for you as a company?
Good question. Uh, the right answer for that is, every customer, when they are bringing us, one of the reasons why they bring us is that we can do better job than what their employees can do, or they don't have the particular capability, so they want us to come and do it. Now, There may be a standard solution, but every other software company provides the same standard solution. Question is, how do we differentiate from them? Right? That's the question. So every time when we go to a client, this is what we stress. What is the difference that we are providing to the client? And innovation comes in because any solution that we provide, you know, again, you have to have some components that the customer should feel that we are not getting this from any other somebody else. That's a differentiator that we try to come out with. So this is something that that we have a lot of products that we have developed over many years, innovative solutions in cybersecurity, in SAP. These are all came out because we are responding to the customer needs, and we are trying to show them that we are better than everybody else. So innovation plays the key part, because that's how you get the business. If I implement the same solution like everybody else, then what is the differentiation for me? That's what I tell my all the leaders in the company. That's what I tell everyone, that when we provide a solution, it has to be a cutting edge solution and provide something that the customer feels that they got the best value from the consultant. That is the key value. Customers are essentially looking for value. They are not simply looking for somebody to fill their tables. Customers want solutions to their problems, and also they are trying to have a solution that is future ready, not filling a gap that was there before. So that future readiness comes only from innovation, thinking, having new technology or new ideas, and also leveraging of what the customer already has. Most of the time, that's the biggest problem. Customer has a certain landscape that they are using, and to be able to go out and put a new landscape, it is extremely difficult. So within their environment, we have to do whatever that can be done, and at the same time, come out with a better solution.
This brings to the point, Mr. Reddy, that centricity plays a pivotal role, right? Whether it is innovation, whether you're adding new features to your product, or whether it is a market differentiation that you are actually talking about. How do you really kill the competition? Because your differentiator will obviously kill the competitors in a way. How important again is for any business, particularly Technics, in terms of really spending quality time with your customers, understanding the what is changing around the business, and how much of time that you actually spend with your customers in a way that defines your market propositions or the differentiators and all that. Please help us understand more from your perspective on this.
From that perspective, Technics actually has a great history of retaining customers for an extremely long period of time. Some of the customers that we started out back in 2000s are still with us, and most of the customers that we started in the last decade are still with us. Okay, I have one saying to all my team members: customers are not in the business of finding the who is the best consultant. Customers are in the need of finding who can do the work for me, who can fill the gap for me, who can give me a better solution without unnecessarily haggling through too many details. That's what the customers are looking for. As long as you provide a good value to the customer and a good solution to the customer, they are with you. It's like, we are not you are not in the market to look out the who is the best barber in the town. All you want to get your hair cut, and who cuts your hair without making too much noise,
Yeah,
and that's all
true.
what is your requirement.
Yeah.
Correct? So we are no different from a barber. That's what I tell my team members. So always we have to keep in mind what value that we are providing to the customer that allows them to retain us year after year after year. We started out the company with HP, or later on which became Agilent Technologies, as an e-commerce platform for them. We built it for them. We supported that platform for 15 years as an independent consultants from Hyderabad. HP being HP, they had a lot of options. They had marquee companies that are coming to them being able to provide services for them. But for 15 full years, they were not able to find anyone who could provide the same level of knowledge and same level of capability that and commitment that you are bringing to the table. And we continued that engagement for full 15 years until the entire platform got changed. So the same attitude, same thing that we continued throughout the years. As I said, one customer that we have been for 25 years, there are many customers who have been almost a decade now with us. So we always go to the customers, try to see what are their requirements and try to see what best that we can do without having to go through another process of procurement and bring in the new solutions to the customer. We also provide all the solutions that we internally develop to the customer, sometimes at free of cost, just so that our customers feel be happy that they are getting innovation without having to spend much time. And they are not, unfortunately for them, in their execution of their own business, they don't have the time and bandwidth to come out with the newer solutions, nor request for newer solutions. We bring those solutions to the customers. So it is the, customer focus is highly important. Any customer that we go to, that's first thing that we look at. What is the additional value that we are going to bring to the customer, that that we will be there at that customer for a long period of time. For me, it's not about, how many projects I have. It's about more about how many customers I have and how long I have been having them. Because some of the customers, I know their entire business process end to end, even more than their own employees. Because all those employees who started with us already left their organizations. So we hold all their knowledge to some extent. So it's about customer focus, understanding the customer, not treating the customer as a one-time opportunity, because customers have opportunities forever. A customer requires a support forever. As long as you understand the simple logic that we are simply a barber, not to make too much noise, we'll be very happy. A simple philosophy. A lot of things are very simple.
So, what you would try to say, if I can sum it up, is that the customer stickiness comes with really understanding the gap itself in his mind, right? That is the first one. And second is the value that you provide, that immense value that you provide to the customer, so that it becomes very difficult for the customer to really see the same solutions coming in from other companies and all that. And the third and the most important thing is how you adjust yourself, being so agile, right? To meet the needs of the customer that come time to time. It's not that you only have one set of challenges throughout 2 months, 3 months. You would really work with the client in such a way that your understanding of the business is more or less equivalent to the business owner himself. Like, is my understanding right?
To a great extent, absolutely. That's a great summarization. Uh, you know, most of our clients are kind of Fortune 500 clients, and these clients have many different needs. When we go to a client for a specific solutioning, for a specific problem, we just don't end up just for that particular purpose. We also start providing additional services, because every solution that the customer needs, there are integrations that have to be done with already their existing other platforms, other solutions that they have. That's a unique value that we provide to the customers, that they don't need to go out and look for somebody else. Okay. So these are all the gaps that you identify at the customer, which the customers themselves will not be in a position to easily position other people for that simple gaps. We provide all the gaps, and over a period of time, they feel customers come to a conclusion that it's better to work with a company that can provide end-to-end solution rather than trying to work with some staff augmentation, work for a small project and walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they value that you deliver, at the
Absolutely.
table. Yeah.
That's the
Uh,
key point. Otherwise, who would be there? Why
yeah.
would
But
anybody
the
want to
one,
work with you?
yeah, and the one point that I wanted to, bring from the discussion that you had just made is that sometimes you end up giving some services for free. Is it a tactical, is it a strategic way of really looking at it? Because most of the time customer may not know that you can do A, B, C and D also. They think that you can only do A, B, C, may not be D. So at that time, how do you deal with it?
Sometimes it is strategic. Sometimes it is actually showcasing to the customer that we are capable of doing more than what the particular contract may be requiring. And by doing, sometimes, at free of cost, helps the customer to observe these things and show the value to their management that this company is bringing additional value by giving us all these things that they can improve their processes. And other part of it is that, I kind of treat software as apples. You know, you eat them, otherwise you have to throw them, right? Why not give it to your favorite customers? As simple as that. You give it to the favorite customers, and there's likelihood that they might want more things from you,
Yeah.
right? They require more development all the time. So, for us, it doesn't cost any more because we already built it. We already invested in it. I mean, as long as it is within a certain range, certain budget, we say that no, let's go ahead and do it. So that's one of our great value offerings that we kind of do it just about every client to differentiate us from the other companies that, hey, we bring all these things to you. What is other company bringing to you? So that's how we kind of gain foothold, extra foothold in the market, make
Yes.
it difficult for others to come into any account and trying to, sell themselves.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Believe me, it works very well. It's nothing is free in the world at any point of time. Its only thing is that, you know, how you are going to use it for your benefit at a later date.
Yeah. Yeah, and I completely agree. At the end of the day, whether it is serving the need of the customer in some way or the other. And now we'll shift to your personality side, Mr. Reddy. So, since you have been heading this organization for the last 20 plus years, and how you have seen yourself, starting from, uh, you know, with about 5 people, I guess you actually started, and then to hundreds now. How did you really scale this, and who has been a big motivator for you? Because for every entrepreneur there is someone who one look ups to, right? So please walk us through that journey, your initial journey.
That would be a little bit interesting because uh, it was bit of a hard way back in the US. I did my engineering in at IIC Bangalore and masters, another masters at Texas A&M University. So when I started out at Bechtel, one of the Bechtel being a premier engineering company, one of the top three civil engineering companies. I was a civil engineer at that time for them. One of the things that caught my, to my surprise, they were 100% manual. There was all the calculations were manual, everything was manual. You just have to do like what we do, what people were doing in India. That's how it was at that time. So, in my limited capacity, because of my prior knowledge with the Fortran, which I was doing in my engineering days, I wrote some programs uh, to actually help myself, not to help the company or anything, because I couldn't do it in the manual way that they were trying to do. A task that they were taking 40 hours, I couldn't just simply do the same task, keep on doing it for 40 hours again and again and again because they wanted a proof of calculation. So I wrote a program to do all those things. It took some couple of months time for me, but I did all those things to provide the entire output in a matter of hour rather than 40 hours. Right. So they didn't believe it initially. They wanted me to do manually again. So which I continued both manually as well as through the use of programming for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then they decided that there's no point in doing it manually, and they started accepting whatever I did using Fortran programming. Basically, that's kind of how it started. I would say that it's a necessity that drives the innovation. As always, it says it is a necessity because not only that, one of the things that I did for the company, even the basic document receiving and sending from a company, from one division to other division. In that, during those days, there were no emails either. Nobody had an email account. So we had to physically document. So I wrote a program for that. Soon they started using across the entire company. So being a civil engineer, they had their own IT department, and suddenly I was getting trusted with bigger and bigger. So I was there with them for about after I started my programming, I was there with them for about couple of years, and then went and started the company, my own company, and started working. So most of the things that happen, is what you do is more out of necessity rather than trying to come out with a big idea and say that I want to implement the big idea. So company started that way. And when we moved to India as a what I say as because of a particular crisis, and over here we just had 5 people in just one small room. But one of the things that from that time onwards, whether by design or by whatever, it's about allowing people to take the full independence, whatever the task that is being given to them, and doing the best that they can do with them. So you need to give liberty to the people for them to grow. So the persons who joined me at that time are still with me. Out of the 5, 2 are still with me. From the small room that started, they're still with me. So it's about empowering the people. It's about giving them the liberty to come out with solutions, not going in all the time and try, I want to do it, I want to do it. So it allowed them to grow as leaders over a period of time, and allowed them to establish their own groups, enlarge the groups. We have a huge cybersecurity group. We started out as a small solution for a company, but now it has become a subsidiary again, and we created a subsidiary for that called Credenti, right? So I always believed in allowing people to do what they need to do, what they have to do in their own idea, rather than me telling what the idea is. Okay, here is a problem, you solve it. If it doesn't, if your solution doesn't meet the requirement, I'll help, because end of that you are part of the team. So that actually enabled us to build strong teams over a long period of time, and the customers started liking that model because they were able to access each and every developer and being able to get some innovative ideas from them without having to worry about, does this idea fall in the category of our scope or not in the scope. You know, one of the things I realized early on in my life is when the customers write the scope, they really don't know what they want. They're visualizing something, but the visualization over a period of few months, as they start seeing the product becoming available, their ideas change, their ideas improve. So we have to be flexible to be able to provide a new solution or a new enhancement, whatever that they want. So that's what I believe is the primary reason, allowing people to innovate in their own way for every small problem that is there. And that's how they became the owners of their own whatever they have done, and they got the recognition for it, and they stayed with us. And that's how, one after the other, they, instead of me going around and trying to build, it is they actually who built it. Sanjay joined in the 2005. He has the entire marketing. Okay. So he's spearheaded a lot of strategic ideas in different areas. But the core concept of enabling people to do the job, that didn't change. That's what actually built the company, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. True. True. Absolutely. But I'm very keen. I'm quite intrigued by what you just mentioned is that the leadership remain the same across, the principles remain the same. The principle of leadership where you make your team own up the model or the business function itself, that's going to be the key, is what I hear from you. Is my understanding right now?
Well, I mean, if the answer to that is yes, there are certain basic principles. That's how our DNA is built with, right? And then how do we adapt to the changes that are happening in the industry? That's the second biggest part. Now, to adapt to the changes, not everybody will be able to do it. Not everybody want to do it. Okay. For us to stay relevant in the competitive marketplace, we always have to change. We always have to innovate. We always have to come out with the new ideas. And we always have to provide a better solution to the customers. Okay. So in the process, it will happen that we have to identify new leaders who are more motivated to continue with us, and those who are no longer as motivated because they don't want to see that the kind of changes that happen. Leadership is changing not because leadership wants to change. It is the market is changing and leadership is adapting to the market. Otherwise, you don't survive in the marketplace. Okay. If I want to introduce AI into the system, not just because I want to introduce AI, it is because customers want the AI. And those people who are motivated to go out and learn AI and implement the solutions to the AI and come out to the customers and explain what benefits it brings to them is what I have to go with. So, but at the same time, there are a lot of customers who are still in the what we call the legacy platforms. They all have to be supported. It's not like, AI has come, we are abandoning you. Yeah. We don't work that way. So they have to be supported on the legacy platform. Some of our customers who are in the 1970s deck platform, their entire data is in the deck platform, and we have to, write programs to interface with that, right? So basically, what will happen is that those who don't want to go too deep into the newer technologies are happy with, building their client, whatever it is, focusing on one or two specific clients, they'll remain there. And those who want to move forward, they'll have to move forward, because as a company, we have the responsibility to all the employees and to all the customers that we provide a good solution to them and the latest solution to them. That means we have to come up ourselves. We have to innovate ourselves. We have to change, not because leadership is changing, because the market is changing.
Market is- Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. Looking at the current crop of youngsters that we have, how do you see them as the future leaders? Because most of these youngsters come with technology bent of mind, electronic mindset, because information is everywhere, right? Unlike 20 years back, you didn't have anything; everything was buried in books, but now everything is there in on the electronic medium, YouTube and all that. How do you see this uh, new kids on the block?
Good question. I mean, it is actually something very close to my heart. The reason I say is that whenever we have a lot of interviews happening all the time. Whenever we have fresher interviews, I try to be part of that interview. I try to be the last guy who talks to the people. My whole goal in talking to the freshers is to identify that raw talent, identify the raw ambition that they may have, and within the limited opportunity that they had till then, what did they do with it? Some of them did come up with some innovative solutions, innovative answers. I engage with them in discussions for 30 minutes to understand what is it that they are aspiring to be. I don't speak that long to senior individuals, but I spend time with the extreme freshers just to identify the people who I could go with for a long period of time, give them the focus, right? That approach has allowed me actually over a period of time to identify good team members that stayed with us for a very long time, that still stay with us, because that is we are their first company, and we are still their company. So if I allow them to be hidden part of some system where they don't get recognition, they will be here for 1 or 2 years and they'll walk away. And but they are the future of the company. They are the future of the everything that is there. So the model we have is that talk to them early, catch them young, and groom them on opportunities and position them wherever that is possible, so that we can bring them, we can recognize them, and we can hold on to them as long as possible. And we also have opportunities that when some people are really good, and but they also want to go to US, they also want to go to other countries, they have ambitions. So we have companies all across. We send them, say, okay, now you go work in US, work in Canada, take up the opportunities over there. This is something that again, goes back to the fundamental: how do you treat your employees? How much importance you give to them? How much you give them liberty to grow? That essentially allowed us to build a large company with people all across the world. And most of them, when you talk to them, they say, no, we have been long time here, we don't want to change. But more important is, again, what do you bring to the table? Customers ask us exactly the same question. Why do I have to work with Technics? Right? In turn, I ask the same question to all the members who want to join Technics. Why should I bring you on board? What value do you bring? But in case of freshers, they have raw talent, willingness to work, and ambition. It worked wonders for us. We have, I would say, 70% of our company right now is juniors, less than 3 years.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. And 30% is at various levels of seniority. So the people, that senior members who have been with us, we have been with us for very, very long time. And that's basically how we operate, allowing people to uh, feel they are owners of the division, owners of the practices that they do without interference from others.
Also, do you subscribe to the view? Naran Murthy said that youngsters should work more than 60 hours in a week. And also, Subramaniam from L&T said that what do you do sitting at home while you should be working in office? Do you subscribe to these views?
And I had one employee long time ago uh, who walked to me and said, I'll work from Monday through Friday up until 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay. And I will not work Friday, I will not work Saturday. This happened in Dubai.
Okay.
Okay. Where everybody works 6 days a week, morning 8 to evening 6. And this person comes to me and says that I'll only work from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. I said, rest of the team members are working until 6 p.m. Answer was, they are wasting their time. Right. And I heard her. And she is the best employee that we have in the entire Middle East. There is a ministry that she works with. I'll get fired if that she leaves the company. So it is not about how many hours you work. You have to do your work-life balance, whatever that you do in the rest of your life. But for the hours that you spend in, you have to bring in good value. Because this is one thing that I tell all the people: I'm not responsible for your career. You are responsible for your career. If you think that you have done the job properly, then you don't need to work. You can go. But if you want to improve yourself, if you want to grow yourself, if you want to learn more things, then you need to invest in yourself. I'm not here to train you in new technologies. If you want to train in new technologies, there are institutes that you can go and learn. I'm here to bring you to the customer who wants solutioning to be done. That is my role. Okay. So essentially, that's the kind of approach that we take. Okay. So yeah, you can work 18 hours. Yes, in the early years of my life, I did work, but I was motivated to work not because I was required to work, because I was creating, when you are in the process of developing new solutions, time doesn't really matter. Time actually, it's only 24 hours a day. So if you leave out 6 hours to sleep, there are only 18 hours. That's how many hours, you can put in and try to come out with a new solution. It's not because it is required, not because you are getting paid. It is because that you are proud of what you have done, right? So software is like an art, you know. You can work for a many hours, produce nothing. You can work for 4 hours and create wonder. So do I subscribe to Mr. Narayana Murthy? He's a great person. If you are doing a BPO operations, yeah, you can ask them to work for 18 hours. But if you are doing, product development, innovation, I won't force them. I won't ask them. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's quality is more important. Quality takes precedence over quantity.
absolutely,
Yeah.
it's about the motivation. You just because you are asking them to work doesn't really mean that they'll be able to put that many hours. They also have a life to deal with,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So
Great. So we'll come to the last segment of this. We want to talk about the trends that you see because you've been through so many trends in the last couple of decades, and the new trend, as we all know, is AI agents trend. But I would like to hear from you what trends, because you come with a certain uh, business orientation which others lack in a way. You have seen both markets, US market, India market, and other markets as well. Give us your holistic view about how you see the future trends and any personal reflections you have.
I mean, one CEO recently said in about 80% of the software work can be done using AI. Yes, true. That is the disruption that we are having in the market. 80% of the work can be done by the AI. But who does the remaining 20%? What kind of a capability you need to do the remaining 20%?
Right.
20% is where the IP is.
True.
Now, this is the 80% of the work that created the 20%. If you remove the top 80% and expect people to come up with the 20%, is a big ask, right? Now, how is that going to impact us? The impact is that with the AI that is coming in, there is this clamor that you should be able to implement this entire solution in a matter of 2 months because you are using AI tools. Okay. But who is going to pick up after the AI tools are done? It is the humans. And they need to have the skill set, most advanced skill set to be able to do the tasks that AI was not able to do. But how do you create those people? You know, that is the biggest challenge that we have, to create the kind of people that are required to provide the last mile solution that is required at the client place. If the client is willing to say that, no, only do this much part, then they need the topmost skill level, which can only be produced by spending the 80% of the time on it. You get the logic there?
Yes,
See
yes.
how important it is, for a freshers that are joining the company, if they purely go and learn AI and they never did the hard work of doing the entire 80% of the application, how
Mm.
will they be able to understand, implement the last 20%?
True.
Who is going to implement it?
Yeah, true.
So this is
Mm.
a challenge that is coming, in my opinion. There is going to be a disruption. Lot of young people, I'm glad I'm not part of this batch. A lot of young people are going to face this
Yeah.
because when I started out on MS DOS. I started out writing programs on Fortran. I started with the very basics, then went into, where we are right now. It's almost like from a basic invention of TV all the way to you have Netflix on your. Now, with this much of change, since I have seen, you know, I know how things work from all the way from the, ground up. But the today's fresh batches, they will never have the opportunity to learn because they will never have the opportunity to learn, and not only the opportunity to do the first 80% of the solution, they will not be in a position to do the last 20% as well. So it's going to create a challenge to continue to keep the manpower. This is one of the changes that I believe is going to come in the market, is that there's going to be a lot of impact uh, to the young generation by being trying to be AI centric solutions. Uh, but end of the day, extending those solutions to the completion might require a lot of knowledge, and that they may not be able to do it. Okay, so people talk about productivity improvement. Yes, it does improve the productivity definitely. But what about the from a people perspective? Which productivity? Are we talking about the entire team? Are you talking about the last 20%?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Customers want AI solutions.
You're so right.
They are looking for AI based solutions. So that as part of the legacy solutions, that we have to improve their solutions to introduce AI into it. So these are all the changes that every customer is looking for. If I see the trends, that's where it is going to be. Most of this enterprise software such as SAP is bringing all the various required use cases that are required at any particular client for any scenario into the system, so that you don't really need consultants to go out and implement the any changes. So they just want everyone to be a user to their system, right? So it would be interesting how it is going to pan out, how much of AI is going to impact the lives. And like any disruption that we have seen over a period of time, when Bill Gates said, you only need one computer for a company, now we are, five computers per person to that level. And did everybody lose job because of that? Not really. People became, more, uh, you know, productive, I would say. Though there may be a small a percentage of the generation they felt left out. Okay, but with the AI, a similar disruption could happen. Okay. Only time that you need to be worried is that when your intelligence is not needed, when everything else is artificial,
Yes.
then you're probably not needed, right?
Yeah. No,
So
you put
that
it
is
so
the
nicely. I was actually looking for this statement. Yeah.
there is a concept called super AI.
Mhm.
Super AI is where AI starts inventing itself. So when the super AI comes along, the current AI is basically built by humans. Super AI builds itself. So you don't really require humans at that particular point of time. We are at that inflection point right now.
Wow.
Okay. So as more and more of this innovation goes on, we will reach a point where there's not enough, necessity for to train people any one of the technologies, because AI will do everything for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Is it
the
scary? Is
future
it
we have to be
scary kind
afraid
of
of.
a situation?
Pardon?
Is it scary situation that we have to live with it, or do you think that there are opportunities there as well? Because sitting now, we can only predict to a certain level, but since super AI is going to take charge of all AIs now, that means our lives are, I don't know, is it scary?
I don't know the right answer to it, But yes, the one of the things I kind of always think, you know, back 5 years ago, I would have been able to, tell the spelling of every word that's out there. Okay. Today, we are so dependent on our smartphones to correct the typing mistakes, spelling mistakes. A lot of people, including myself, forgot the spellings of some words. Like tomorrow, does it start with TOMORRO or TOMMORRO,
He.
right? So our mind stopped connecting long time ago with with regards to the grammar, with regards to the spelling. We stopped thinking because a program is thinking for you.
Yeah.
Now, if I extend the same straight line to the AI, when AI starts making decisions, everything, what will happen to the human intelligence, right? I mean, creative writing, people don't want to write emails anymore. People don't want to frame a particular sentences anymore. This used to be a great talent. Writing letters, writing composition, writing things is a great art. But now programs are there to do it for you. So
Yeah.
people stop imagining things. People stop coming out with innovative things. Some art, whatever it is. So as this keeps going, as it goes on, eventually you'll reach a point where you don't think anymore because somebody else is doing the thinking for you.
Oops. Okay.
And
Mind
I don't
blowing.
mean to go to that level, but future is coming. That's what
Maybe
the
10
trend
years
is.
down the line, 20 years,
Yeah,
or is it
but
5 years now?
well, hopefully we are by then. Elon Musk will be ready with a starship. We all can sit in it and go to Mars. At least there's nothing there, so we can start building all over again.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, sir. This is really mind-blowing session. I think this is very few sessions that we had such a gem full of discussions, especially all the anecdotes, the analogies, and helping our viewers understand what it takes to really go to the next level. I would really thank you for sharing your journey and these valuable insights, of course. Um, so for our listeners, whether you are a seasoned CXO, an aspiring entrepreneur, or a marketer striving to innovate, take a page from Murli's book. Leadership is as much about vision and strategy, and it is about staying true to your personal values and how you make a difference to the customer ecosystem. Is there any parting shot that you want to take, Mr. Reddy, on summing up your key ideas? Just about few sentences before we wrap up.
One of the things I believe very strongly is delegation, right? For you to be a successful innovator or to be successful at anything, you should first learn how to delegate things. A lot of people want to do control everything. You have to delegate. You have to create the next level of leaders who can take ownership along with you, walk with you whether you are there or not there.
Yes,
So
best
this
motto.
delegation helped me a lot
Ye-
over many years, allowed me to see things which I wouldn't have seen, which I wouldn't have realized, because my team came up with the newer things which I was not even aware of, because they felt that ownership, they felt that because of the delegation, it is empowerment of your team. That's what we have to do. That's what I believe in doing it. And that's what I believe is made me, create a work-life balance I needed in my life without having to spend all the time as Mr. Narayana Murthy does 70 hours a week. I don't spend that kind of hours because I believe in the collective leadership, collective thinking, and collective innovation too.
I just want to ask you a question on your personal values, because every CEO or every entrepreneur has a set of values that they run the organization, right? I just want to cover that personal values, right? And I also want to really help our viewers understand what those critical values would really help them sail through the crucial times, crisis times, and how they can use this at a personal level?
Now, one of the key things that we have done from day one, out of habit, out of also, I would give because of the work experience that I had in United States, how people try to recognize the achievements of others rather than claiming the achievements of others as their own achievements. One of the things that I realized is that it is the recognition that drives the people. So you need to recognize the team members that are working with you for everything that they do, for every achievement that they do, so that not just recognition in terms of saying thank you, but actually informing the customer about the recognition and making the customer know that this is the person who actually has done this for you. This helped us over a long period of time with people getting more motivated to work with us, because unlike some of the companies where team lead is the only one who talks to the customer, in our system what we did is that client can talk to anybody that they are on their team, and we recognize each and every achievement that they had. So that allowed them to grow professionally as well because of that. So that enabled us, to grow the teams faster, more responsive, and more responsible over a period of time. And that reduced a lot of work for me. Now I don't have to spoon feed them, right? So it is the first principle that we had is to, recognize them, and when they make a mistakes, which is entirely possible, honestly accept the mistakes because they are part of the same team. Abandoning them is not a solution. Okay. So as you start staying behind them all the time, through thick and thin, you start having the team that is committed to you because they feel empowered. When they go to a customer, they know that even if they make a small mistake here and there, the company behind is going to not essentially taking the responsibility, but also come and correct it. Accept the mistakes at the client, accept the mistakes what we do, and simply go and correct it. Most of the time issues, the problems come when we don't want to accept our mistakes at the clients. So when you try to do that, suddenly the clients, do accept that, okay, these are good people, there's a mistake that happened, and they are rectified that mistake. So it's kind of recognizing the people for what they are. It is giving the value to them and staying with them through the, any issues and supporting them throughout is the most essential thing that one has to do in the project management or with company management. It happens at every level. Some of the projects go wrong. So, we as a company take ownership and say, yes, this project has gone wrong, but we'll correct it to the customer. So some of the projects that we could not complete in time, those customers still with us because we stayed with them and we completed them no matter what it took. It's no longer about cost. It's more about our reputation. Okay, delivering the results to the customer at any cost. Then the customers realize that, okay, here is the company that has values. They don't run and cut and run just because there's a problem.
Yeah.
And knowledge is kind of everywhere. We have to go out and find the knowledge. You may not have the right type of people all the time. So you have to go out and try to bring the new people in so that we can provide the little solution that the customer is looking for as part of the bigger solution packaging. So a lot of these things that kind of enable companies to go forward, bit of a forward thinking, bit of a lateral thinking, but all the while making sure that most important thing in the whole picture is the customer, and the second most important thing is the employee himself, because we are a knowledge based organization. We are only as good as the knowledge our consultant has. The more I enable them to build up that knowledge, the better will be my reputation. That's the outlook that we have, that's the outlook that we worked with, and that helped us a lot. There are a lot of companies that have been working with us for, as I said, a decade plus. I haven't even talked to them in a long time because there's no need. They are very happy. And there are team leads, practice owners that stay in direct touch, and they provide all the solutions while they give me the opportunity to go out and look for new markets, new countries to go and open the company and build a new leadership in those places. As we start growing, it also helps with the overall ecosystem. We go to the clients, somehow that we got a project in Dubai based on our diversity because we had Egyptians are our employees, Pakistanis as our employees.
Oh,
We were able to bring all people to the table. And the company said, I like this, we will go with you. So we have to be open-minded. We cannot say only have this particular people, this particular people. Everyone brings a value to the table. Yeah, and everyone is looking for an opportunity to succeed in the life. We have to recognize that as a fact. So bottom line is, all the consultants I tell you, you have to grow. I can only push you so much. You have to learn, you have to grow. It's your career. Of course, I'm also growing with you. That's a different aspect.
yeah. But you create that environment, you give that ecosystem for everyone to grow. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's the bottom line, right? The people who are always look for that ecosystem, where they can grow and where their ideas are valued rather than being shut down.
Hmm.
People come to my office. I keep my office doors open all the time so that people can walk in and talk to me, with open mind. Sometimes they come to me and say that they have an idea and they want to discuss. For me, I feel very happy because someone is sharing their ideas and I'll be able to evaluate whether that will work for us or not.
Right. Right.
Right. So innovation comes in many ways, as long as you keep
Yes.
your mind open, as long as, as I said, simple thing, in necessity, you start fulfilling each and your necessity, the client necessities with solutions that probably client doesn't have, but you may be in position because you're also doing similar things at different clients. So, that's the value that the customers get. These people are capable of doing it. And even if they don't have it right now, they'll go bring from somewhere else and implement for us.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Subhash, for your time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.